Hello, 6th grade. We're going to continue on with our statistical questions notes just to really reinforce what is statistics, what is that study, and what types of questions are considered statistical. So, statistics is the science of collecting. That means putting out a Google form, asking people questions, and actually writing down your data, a survey test, online, in person. You're getting the information and then organizing, analyzing, and this is the key thing, interpreting the data. So when we were talking about in the beginning of statistical questions, why are you asking these questions? What is it you're hoping to gain by collecting, organizing, and analyzing and interpreting? That means like figure out, I'm going to use a new color. Figure out its meaning. Like, what do these numbers mean? What is this number telling me? It's giving me information. So, data, or data, does not matter the pronunciation, but it's spelled D-A-T-A. Data, they're the facts and statistics collected together for reference or analysis. So data really are all the numbers in this case. Or, you know what, actually it could also be just information that you're collecting. But because we're talking about in relation to math, you're probably going to get most data in number form because that's part of what makes something a statistical question as opposed to a yes or no question. On number 3, I'm going to use a new color. A statistical or stats for short. Those of you who like soccer or football, like you want to know somebody's stats, that's their statistics or some statistical information. A statistical question is one for which you do not expect to get a single answer. We want more than one answer, leading me to my next point. A statistical question leads to a variety of answers. Remember, when we're talking about statistical questions, another way you can say this is variability. Different answers. Actually, I'm going to write that too. And put dots, because it could be different answers, different questions. There's a lot of things you can collect, and they're all a variety. You have different options to choose from or different answers to your question. Questions that are not statistical are questions for which you can expect to get a single answer, like yes or no questions. Do you like chocolate ice cream? Yes or no? That's not necessarily statistical. You're not getting enough data. You're not getting enough numbers. You're not getting enough information. So these types of questions are not what you're looking for. So an example of a statistical question would be something like, what are the ages of the students in all of the school? This is statistical because I want to know all the students. I'm going to get a variety of answers, and the ages are going to give me a number. Some kids are 10, some kids are 12, some kids are 4, some kids are 6. All of them in the whole school, I'm getting a large data set of numbers, and I'm looking at a number as my information. That's what age they actually are. An example of a non-statistical question would be something like, how many teachers are on campus? Well, I got a how. It's going to give me a number of how many teachers are on campus. But here's the thing. There would only be one correct answer. So if it's Monday and I ask the question, hey, how many teachers are on campus? Hey, there are 31. I have one single answer. There's one right answer to answer this question. How many teachers are on campus? 31. So that's not statistical. If I change the question and ask over the course of the year and get a bigger data set and, and I allow more variety, then it would be statistical. But if I ask for one day, how many teachers are on campus, I'm going to add that down there. One day. Then it's not statistical. There would be one correct answer. Another example of a non-statistical question would be, who, I'm going to squeeze that in there, is your math teacher? You actually don't have to write this one, but I'm just pointing out. Who is your math teacher? Miss Madera is. That's the answer to your question. One correct answer, and it's not a number. You would be saying my name. It would not be numerical. All right, so let's take a look. Remember, the two things a statistical question needs is usually, not always, written in number form. I want you to put a squiggle line underneath this. And variability. It needs these two things in order to be considered statistical. So let's take a look at these ones. What is your favorite color? Well, I can't answer in number form. I can't say my favorite color is 5. That's not possible. But I can get a variety. I can get variability. Because I could have, please write this down. You can have 3 people who say they like blue. 6 people say they liked green. And 7 people say they like orange. So you can quantify it. That means collecting, back up here, collecting and organizing. You take your answers that you got as colors and you put them in number form. And I'm going to get a lot of variety. So this, in fact, is statistical. Looking on to the next one. Who is the President of the United States of America? Well, there's only one correct answer at this time if I ask this question. So, and his name would not be a number, so that means it's actually non-statistical. What is the atomic number? Ooh, it's a number of carbon on the periodic table in science. Well, that would only give me one correct answer. So, if I don't have variability, then this is non-statistical. What is the best book you read this summer? Well, I'm going to get a lot of different answers, variability. Somebody might say Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, Bridge of Terabithia, all different books. So I could have many answers, but it's not in number form, but you can quantify that. Actually, can I have you guys please add that to your notes? To quantify is to represent the data you collected in number form. So I could say 4 people like this book, 5 people like that book, 20 people like this other book, and I'd get a lot of different answers. So this actually is statistical. And let's look at the last one. How old were you when you lost your first tooth? Well, we might have some people, like 5 people said they lost it when they were 6 years old. Or 4 people lost it when they were 3 years old. Oops, that's a 5, sorry. We'll make it 6. And 2 people lost it when they were 4 years old. Like, I'm keeping track. This is me organizing my data. And I would have 5 people lost it when they were 6. 6 people lost it when they were 3 years old. 2 people lost it when they were 4 years old. So that might get a little confusing. But the bottom line is I got number form. Someone's giving me their ages. And variability. I'm getting different numbers. So this is statistical. All right. When you're ready, go ahead and move on to the back. All you're going to do is you're going to decide whether each question is a statistical question. You're going to justify your answer. You have to tell me why. Assume that each question is being asked to a group of 20 students. So we know that you're asking more than one person automatically. So you got to go down the list and say, is this question statistical? Let's start with this first one. How many states are there in the United States of America? Well, there are 50 states. So I know it has a number. That checks out. But am I going to get a variety? Am I going to get a lot of different answers? No, there's only one correct answer. So there's no variety, which means this is non-statistical. I'm going to actually circle that with my yellow. That is what I'm looking for on your group work. You don't have to know the answer. Like, what size shoe do you wear? You wouldn't have to ask everybody in class, but I want you to think, does it have these two pieces that we have to have in order for it to be a statistical question? Can it be quantified or represented as a number? And am I going to get a lot of different answers? Am I going to have variety? All right, if you're ready, you may get started.